One thing that we're hearing the most right now from buyers is rentable basement apartments. More than anything else, I want a rentable basement apartment if I buy a house because I want that extra financial support with my mortgage and not have to pay it alone. So I figured I would make a video, again as usual, custom slide deck for you guys, and then we'll get into the MLS to see what's actually out there, because slides aren't really going to help you if you don't understand what the houses look like, feel like, where they are, which suburb or in the city. So we're going to do all of that today. Guys, if you could hit the like button early on and get subscribed to the channel if you want more videos like this one, it really helps out. We're on our way to 300 subscribers, which, believe it or not, is very exciting for us. And if you want to book a call with me directly, the link is the first one in the description below. But without further ado, let's get right into today's video. At the lower range, you're going to be looking at about $1,800. Average rate, just over 2,000 again in, the GTA, and 2,600 at a premium range. All of it depends, right? What location you're in, what size it is, the level of maintenance and upkeep, upgrades and finishes. So all of these things are going to depend, but this is kind of the range that you're looking at. Just to give you what homes cost, your composite benchmark across all types of property in Toronto proper is going to be $960. That's from condos all the way to detached houses. But if we take the median benchmark of a detached home, we're looking at about $1,170,000. And that's Toronto. What about the suburbs, right? So Pickering, approximately $849K, Ajax, $849K, Mississauga, $880. Oshawa the lowest at $741, and Milton a little bit pricier at $955. Why am I showing you this? Because if you want a house that has a rentable basement, these are mainly going to be the prices that you're looking at. Why? Well, if you're looking at a townhouse, they're attached to another house, so there's no separate entrance for the tenant to come in. Sometimes you can have an entrance through the garage for them, but it's pretty rare that you're going to see a townhouse with a rentable income suite. When it comes to semi-detached, you will start seeing it, and when it comes to detached, you might see it pretty often. Detached and to a degree semi-detached are going to be the bulk of the property that have a legal entrance suite. So these are likely going to be the prices where you can get into these houses. I wanted to walk you through an example just to give you concretely what everything costs and then how much that rent can offset your mortgage and what kind of difference it can actually make. So let's just say, right, that you buy a property for $900,000 and it's a suburban home with basement potential. It's in Ajax or Brampton or wherever it is, right? Your mortgage amount, if you put 10% down, which is $90K, is going to be $810,000. So we used a 4% rate of interest, and we got monthly payments of $4,260 to $4,350 is kind of the range of what you're going to see depending on what exactly your interest rate is at the time that you get it. Property tax, we're going to look at around $450 to $550 a month just to give you an average to use. So property tax maybe of $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 a year at that purchase price. Then you've got home insurance, which obviously you've put 10% down, which is less than 20. So you're also going to have mortgage insurance of $200 to $250. Then you have home insurance, which is going to be an additional amount. So basically, all in all, you're looking at about $49.10 or $51.50 total per month. If you're getting a premium basement apartment, 2-bedroom apartment that's finished well in a good location, rents out for $2,500, $2,600, that's pretty much half of your entire payment, not just mortgage, but even property tax and insurance, wiped off. Is it quite that simple? Is it only benefits galore and nothing to worry about? Not exactly. There's still some legalities that we want you to watch out for. The number one thing being that not nearly every basement apartment is a legal one. What do I mean by that? And why are so many people breaking the law? Illegal just being you didn't didn't get the legal permits, because if you want to rent out your basement apartment, by law, you have to get permits that allow you to do so. It's a tremendous amount of basement apartments that aren't legalized. Can they be legalized or not is a different question. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. So maybe you can buy it, then legalize it down the line. But just know that maybe 8 or 9 out of 10 basement apartments that you see may well be non-legalized basement apartments in the city of Toronto. So how does that actually apply in day-to-day life, right? If somebody catches you, if for example the neighbor complains or somehow the city busts you renting out a suite without having the legal permit done, then it can result in a fine, first of all, between 25 and 50 grand. Also, if God forbid you have a fire or a flood, they can deny your insurance claim because you didn't say that there was a basement apartment, or if you did, you didn't let them know that it was a legal one. And basically, in insurance's eyes, there's someone else living in your house without a legal way to do so. So they might deny a big insurance claim if, God forbid, something happens. And you're already paying the insurance, right? You already have home insurance. So it's a shame for it to be completely wasted just because you have that basement tenant. And the last thing that we want to tell you is you become a landlord now, right? Which comes with certain responsibilities that you may have or may not have had before. So as a landlord, you'll handle rent collection, obviously, maintenance and upkeep, paperwork, taxes, right? You have to declare rent on income tax, so it's not pure profit that you're just going to be offsetting the mortgage on. Obviously, property management duties like dealing with vacancy, looking for new tenants, rental increase notices, eviction notices if need be. Everything that a landlord would do now falls under your responsibility, because that's what it is. If you have somebody else living in your home, you become their landlord and they become your tenant. The other thing I wanted to do today, guys, I hope these slides were helpful, is actually get into the MLS and show you what people are actually buying out there and how much money they're spending and where. So I've got this circle around the city of Toronto. It goes up to just north of King City. It goes east to just past Pickering, west to past Mississauga, covers a bit of Brampton. And then, of course, we have everything inside the city, York region. North Etobicoke, you see a couple sales. So what I did was I put only places with a basement apartment ready to be let out as soon as you buy it. You don't have to do any additional work. You don't have to put in a kitchen or build a separate entrance or something. They already come with all of the bells and whistles. All you have to do is find a tenant and move them in. So here to the west side, you're going to be seeing, obviously, in Brampton, slightly lower prices than in other places, under $1 million. I've also capped this search out at 1.1 million just to show you that you don't have to pay more than that if you want a rentable suite. I didn't put a bottom price barrier. In other words, this can be from $0 up. So if you're seeing that this is the lowest price, $788, $800, $830, that means that's the barrier to entry if you want to stay within this radius from the city, okay? There's no house that sells with a basement apartment ready to rent for less than this, at least not in November 2025. So to show you basically the bottom end of what you can expect is 788, 800 range. This one in Ajax, this one in North Etobicoke. Just to quickly show you what you're actually getting for that range. So virtual staging. House is in decent condition, nothing too old here. It's fully detached, of course. A lot of places upgraded. Basement has pretty decent finishes, obviously, for the apartment. Some of the washrooms upstairs are upgraded. So not a bad deal, right? All things considered. By the way, it was listed at $854,900 and then sold for $788 after 85 days on market. So they came down in price. If we take what kind of thing you can get in Toronto. So if you're looking at Scarborough, you're going to get a lot of opportunity. Let's look at this one, for example. Nicely renovated on the first floor, and then We'll get into the basement apartment slowly. Nice kitchen. And here's the basement apartment, which again, upgraded and renovated. And somebody was able to buy it for $958K. So it's not like it's not pricey at all. You're approaching the $1 million mark, but still you're having a rental apartment with rent that can offset the mortgage. A place like this would go well over $2,000 a month, and you're getting it less than $1 million in the city of Toronto, obviously at 20 Bluefin Crescent here. And if we look at the top range, we got, again, Ajax, Brampton, you're getting a lot of opportunity. If you want to be in Markham, where prices are obviously higher, but this person got themselves into a detached home with a rentable basement for $1.5 million. So the opportunity is still there. And if we go through it, obviously you're not going to get the same level of upgrade as you would in a suburb, but the kitchen looks pretty good to me, right? It sounds like they had a certain budget for renovating the home, and they chose to focus on the kitchen first, which, by the way, real estate agents typically suggest if you have budget for only a couple of things, you do the kitchen and the washrooms first as a general rule. So that makes sense. Got the second story, and then we go into the basement apartment. Do they got any photos of the basement apartment here? This is the yard, and the basement apartment not in as good condition, obviously, but the fact that it's rentable remains. It's got the separate entrance and it's got everything that you need. And also, I could see the purchaser of this one looking at a value add perspective as well. Maybe in the future, making it a little bit nicer, putting some upgrades specifically into the kitchen, the lighting. Other than that, it seems like a pretty decent purchase for $1.5 million. It was listed for $1.080 and sold after 57 days. That's gonna do it for us today though. I hope this helped illuminate into, you know, what rentable basements actually are, what it means, how much it costs. If you found value from this video, please hit the like button and get subscribed to the channel. It really helps for us to grow. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care.